Chelsea Football Club have one of the best young talents in world football in the shape of Kai Havertz. Like, one of the best. So, how does Thomas Tuchel plan to unearth this elite footballing talent? Stay tuned. Hello my friends, how's it all going? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you are all doing well, my friends. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, where today we're focusing on one story. Kai Havertz, Chelsea's record signing, the young German attacking midfielder slash forward. Thomas Tuchel has recently commented on him and where to play him, and I want to remind some of you of what this player really is and what he can be. I think it's time the footballing world had a reminder of what a gem and talent this young man is. Strap yourselves in, get comfortable, it's going to be a good one. Consider subscribing if you want daily Chelsea content here on Football Therapy that you might dig, and if you do choose to subscribe, hit that all-important bell notifications icon, and if you want to share your sweet, loving, warm embrace with me, please do drop a like on the video because it really does help me out a lot, and I'd be thankful for that, my friends. Alright then, let's get into today's video. So, Thomas Tuchel has come out and spoken about Kai Havertz and perhaps his preferred and best position and where he thinks he could play him. I'm going to cite an article from football.london in just a moment and give you Thomas Tuchel's comments, but I want to warm you into today's video. Kai Havertz, right? He's a very, very young German forward attacking midfielder. We bought him from Bayer Leverkusen when everybody wanted this player. Bayer Leverkusen doesn't just sell anyone for £72 million during a global pandemic financial crisis. Bayern Munich absolutely wanted him, Real Madrid absolutely wanted him, and they would have been very, very excited to get him. He's not a functional player that they would have needed in their squad, so they perhaps see as an important figure in terms of working. They see this guy as a bright, bright star, and you know, I've heard people talk about him as future Ballon d'Or winner. The guys on the Tifo podcast, who are sponsored by Athletic, they spoke about him as very soon to be one of the top 3 players in the world. Like, serious Galactico stuff here. The last couple of seasons in the Bundesliga before he came to Chelsea, he was scoring loads of goals, assisting loads of goals, playing in loads of positions, but gliding across the pitch and just being a magnificent entertainer of a footballer, much like Eden Hazard in many ways. Well, at least in that sense, but in terms of his physical profile, build and style, slightly different. Hazard wiggled and dribbled in small spaces, Kai Havertz glides, he's tall and he's, you know, seriously two-footed. Just incredible. Another thing that provoked me into making this video was listening to Matt Law, the journalist on my friend's podcast, the London is Blue podcast. If you're a Chelsea fan, I'd urge you to go and check out the London is Blue podcast. He spoke about how Roman Abramovich really wanted Kai Havertz and just wanted to go out and get him. Chelsea didn't particularly need him, Frank Lampard didn't necessarily want him, but Roman Abramovich saw a bright star in world football and went hard for him and just wanted him the same way he felt about Eden Hazard. Chelsea didn't particularly need him at the time. Roman saw one of the best young talents in world football and says, I just want him. Bring him to me. Eden Hazard for £35 million. At the time, that was a lot of money, which was like 9 years ago now. Similarly, with inflation and the fact how, you know, perhaps he didn't have to be sold, Kai Havertz, 72 million, it's a lot of money. So it's important to ferment this in your minds, my friends. Chelsea didn't just buy a player that were like, oh, we're short on attacking midfielder, let's get another one, he's available, he's supposed to be good. There was, oh my god, Kai Havertz looks incredible, look what this young man can do on a football pitch. Let's buy him to make sure other elite clubs don't buy him. Let's lock him down for the long term. He has to be at Chelsea. So, just like Eden Hazard, Roman Abramovich got his wish and Chelsea bought Kai Havertz. Now, he's been good for Chelsea when he played and he came in. He did, you know, he has to settle and acclimatise to the league and country. I, you know, looked at him on the pitch for a little bit and I was so excited. I tweeted out, you know, Kai Havertz is a Rolls Royce of a footballer early doors. Loads of people agreed, I got loads of interactions because he was being magnificent on the pitch. Very exciting indeed, without perhaps going up and scoring loads of goals, just demonstrating his ability of playing out of several players pressing him, beautiful long balls with his left foot or shots, or using his weak foot that's equally as or nearly as immaculate as his left, knock down headers, winning headers in the box. He was doing slide tackles in the defensive third, which I didn't think was part of his game at all, like successful slide tackles. And obviously he's 6'1" or something, maybe even taller, so he's got those long legs, can get all the way around. And he was very impressive indeed. Obviously he contracted the virus, got very, very ill. Apparently his symptoms were incredibly severe, and reportedly that's very hard to come back from in terms of recovering form. It takes a while. But amongst all of that as well, he had a coach in Frank Lampard who obviously appreciated his talents, but didn't necessarily have him originally implemented into his plans. And as things went difficult with Frank Lampard behind the scenes, you know, that's difficult for new players like both Timo Werner and Kai Havertz to acclimatise to a team when there's already immediate controversy. Welcome to Chelsea Football Club. So there's a lot of mitigating circumstances of perhaps struggles, but let me tell you what Thomas Tuchel said. I'm going to cite the article now from football.london, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. Tuchel was asked at his pre-match press conference on Friday where he sees Havertz slotting in to the Blues side, and much like in the second half of last season at Leverkusen, Tuchel believes Havertz could operate as a false nine for the Blues if they require one. He's a unique player, Tuchel said. It's not so clear where he needs to settle. Does he need to settle on one special position? Or is he the kind of hybrid player? Today, I'd say he's between a 9 and a 10, something in between. Right, interesting. A sort of false 9, number 10 in this current system where Mason Mount is operating, which is interesting. I'm going to give my thoughts on this a little bit more in just a moment, but first, I'm going to read you the rest of the quote. He's very comfortable in the box, and he's very comfortable in high positions. He's very good in offensive headers. He has good timing to arrive in the box, good finishing, good composure in the box, around the box, and very comfortable in high positions between the 9 and 10. Honestly, for me, it just screams striker. I've spoken about this before, and I genuinely think Kai Havertz would be an excellent striker for Chelsea Football Club, and hybrid's the word. I don't necessarily think hybrid positionally. I think plays a striker, but sort of a hybrid role, so he can go deep and glide around. I'm not saying he's like Roberto Firmino, the defensive false nine that just presses. No, because unlike Firmino, he will pick up the ball and he will carry it. He will ball progress himself from deep. We've seen it from deeper positions where he just glides out and four like opposition players almost follow him like a current in water. Do you know what I mean? They get drifted out behind. So he can do all of that. And of course with Tuchel's Chelsea, there's a lot of rotation positionally, so someone could fill in if he goes deep to get the ball and comes up. But he can arrive in the box. He can win headers like knockdowns like we've seen for Chelsea. He's not scared to jump up and challenge for aerial duels in the 6-yard box in the physical Premier League at all. We've seen him do it. People think he's some sort of soft, lanky player, but he's not. He's winning headers in the 6-yard box against massive Premier League defenders, and he's tracking back and doing slide tackles in our own defensive third. He's got no fear to do the physical part of the game in the Premier League. The fact is, he's talented and graceful in terms of his abilities. Personally, I do see him as a striker, but yes, not necessarily an anchored 9 like you might see Olivier Giroud. There's too much benefit to lose from Kai Havertz floating around and, you know, playing in beautiful long diagonals with his left boot, or like I said, picking the ball up deeper to progress out and dribble and combine. With Chelsea's fluidity in their front three, when Giroud's not necessarily playing, I think Kai Havertz should be a false 9 / sort of number 9 even. Once Tuchel managed to unlock the attack and, you know, regain confidence in this Chelsea side, Kai Havertz has the ability to score a lot of goals. Now, there's a sort of stagnation in Chelsea's attack at the moment. A quote that I really like from Thomas Tuchel is when he spoke of the Chelsea attack in the final third being like an orchestra who are too used to playing one song. So when they're told to like just play music, they instinctively and habitually play that same song, which is, you know, attacking in the same stale patterns that don't work. Whereas perhaps they need to improvise more, like musicians improvising and it being more natural, organic, beautiful, and therefore effective. But that's probably for another day in another video. I just wanted to remind some football fans, not necessarily just Chelsea fans, whoever watch my channel, that Kai Havertz is a magnificent footballer go and watch some of his highlights from Leverkusen and indeed the earlier parts of Chelsea. Remind yourself and get excited. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the content today, please do drop a like. It means a lot to me. Consider subscribing if you're new. Enjoy the football, my friends, and I will see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.